I am here to tell you a story. A long ago, in an enchantment place where words danced through the air and stories whimpering like threads of magic, there are three fascinating characters: Portuguese, Spanish, and English. Portuguese was known for its sweetness and poetic nature, while Spanish was known for its passion and happiness, while English was known as a pragmatic person, but with an aura of influence and power. The kingdom of language, a friendly competition arose that determined which language would be the most dominant. The three were summoned by the Language Council to undergo a series of challenges testing their ability and influence. However, from the beginning, it became clear that English was destined to win. In the first challenge, the task was to persuade some magical creatures to perform some tasks. English do that with simplicity and clarity. The creatures easily understood the instruction, while Portuguese and Spanish had some problems. They were so full of metaphors and it was so a complexity language that the creatures were not able to understand. In the second challenge, they had to create some literary works. English, of course, oh my god, it was the best. Amazing stories, amazing characters, it was easily to understand. While Portuguese and Spanish was so full of complexity and literary tradition that, people just didn't get it.
As the challenge continued, it became evident that English was becoming the lingua franca of the realm, an inevitable force transcending borders and cultural barriers. This caused unease among Portuguese and Spanish, who began to realize the importance of reinventing themselves to preserve their identity. One day, in a moment of reflection, Portuguese and Spanish met each other and intended first. They decided to join forces to find a way to resist English supremacy and celebrate their richness and their traditions. Portuguese suggested a decolonization approach, promoting the value of local languages and encouraging mutual respect among them. Spanish proposed building cultural bridges, highlighting the diversity of expressions and promoting intercultural understanding. Together, they formed an alliance aiming to strengthen their language, recognizing the intrinsic value of each other. They developed strategies that highlighted the beauty of the Romance language, promoting their preservation and fostering mutual learning. However, the influence of English continued to extend, and the efforts of Portuguese and Spanish to develop were like small lights amid the growing shadow of the dominant language.
While Portuguese and Spanish wanted to preserve their languages, the English continued to expand its influence. In a meeting of the Language Council, the three characters met again. And then, the English confidently answered, "It's interesting to see your attempts, but the reality is that the modern world demands simplicity and universality. My words are powerful tools that transcend borders and cultural barriers." Portuguese, maintaining its stance, replied, "English, we know about your importance, but we believe that true health lies in linguistic diversity. Each language carries a unique heritage that must be preserved." Later, the Spanish added, "We are building brides, not just to resist your supremacy, but to celebrate the richness of all languages." Together, we can create a linguistic mosaic that enriches the global fabric. And in the end, the English stood out as a global language. The true wealth lies in linguistic diversity and the ability of all languages to coexist, each one contributing its uniqueness to the magical tapestry of the global communication.